Welcome in to News and Views with Tom Lamprecht. The stories you've heard and the ones you need to hear.
Here we are.
This is day 7, I believe.
The search and rescue continues. Rescue efforts 24/7 without stop.
China's cover-up that started in the Wuhan lab.
China lied, the World Health Organization complied, and people died.
The trip that President Trump is taking to the border.
This invasion.
Your life, your values, your voice. This is News and Views with Tom Lamprecht on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
All right, welcome in. It is News and Views. Tom and Benny and you, and lots to talk about today. There is, by the way, happy 4th of July.
Happy
Hope you
4th.
Enjoyed it all.
I think we're the only ones working this week based on traffic in Greenville.
'Tis true. A little point of personal privilege here, though, is we're working this week, but just a heads up, I'm going to be off next Monday and Tuesday because the Greenville Little League North State 11-year-old All-Stars had an incredible, and I'm bragging here because my grandson Camden is on the team. They had an incredible district tournament up in Rocky Mount. Sorry for you Rocky Mount listeners. I know I shouldn't be rubbing it in, but listen, you all have a great team.
But
The Tar Heels had a great team, but the North State prevailed. And I got to say, that was one of the most unbelievable games I had ever witnessed or been a part of as a grandpa, as a part of it. They were down. The game kept going back and forth and back and forth. Going into the 6th inning in the elimination game, they would have been out of it. They were down 13-8. First guy gets up, pops out. They have some other batters get on with walks and errors, and somebody else got out. It got to 13-11 with 2 outs, bottom of the 6th inning, and a young man came up, Ryan Albritton came up, hit a 3-run over the fence, walk-off home run to win the game. The next day, that was Thursday night. Friday night, they won 10-0. Mercy ruled Rocky Mount. So they're headed up to Winston-Salem, and it'll start this Saturday. And I got another grandson who's in the toss tournament. But listen, by the way, a point of personal privilege here, too, as well. You got to eat lunch somewhere tomorrow, right? So the Greenville Little League North State 11-year-old All-Stars are headed to Winston-Salem. Our thanks go out to the folks over at Texas Roadhouse. They're going to have a fundraiser for the Little Leaguers. It's going to be tea and lemonade and all kinds of good food. If you want to stop by, it's not going to be at Texas Roadhouse, however. It's going to be at 1804 Charles Boulevard, which is right next to the ECU football practice field. Lemonade and sweet tea provided by Texas Roadhouse. Also, grab your lunch there. They'll have pulled pork with rolls and salads available for a $10 donation. You can give more. We'll take checks for as much as you want to give. But it's tax deductible. Make your plans for lunch tomorrow. Go out and support the Greenville Little League North State 11-year-old All-Stars. They're heading to Winston-Salem, and so am I, and that's why we won't be here next Monday and Tuesday.
do you get nervous watching your grandson?
Only when he goes into pitch,
Oh, okay.
which he did the other night. And the pitching has been phenomenal by these guys. It's a fun little. Look, I'd rather watch Little League than the World Series, but yeah, when he goes into pitch, I have to admit I get a little nervous, and I'm just the grandpa. I can't imagine how the moms and dads do. Assuming the weather cooperates, and it looks like it probably will for the Little Leaguers. But there is a tropical storm, which I guess right now is it a hurricane yet, Elsa?
Well, it got to a hurricane, and then I think it
Is it back down
got
already?
down just below once it crossed over maybe Cuba, maybe. But I haven't looked at the latest one.
It's somewhere down near the Keys as we speak. They're referring to it in the news as Tropical Storm Elsa, near hurricane strength, expected to weaken by the time it reaches the Carolinas, but it's headed our way. So come Thursday, it's basically going to be a Thursday event. It'll bring heavy rain, flooding, and strong winds to eastern North Carolina. So just get ready. Good news. It's probably wind speeds 40 to 70 miles an hour. And extend 70 miles from the center. Looks like the center will go somewhere between, if the projections are correct, right now they're saying it's pretty much going to go up over eastern North Carolina, somewhere between the Iowa, go probably between Greenville and Rocky Mount. So just get ready. Bring in the cat and the dog. It's going to be a mess. Carolina Journal is reporting on Roy Cooper. He vetoed a bill Friday. This is unbelievable. This is so infuriating. Our governor is just infuriating. He vetoed a bill that would have ended the $300 extra weekly federal unemployment benefits in North Carolina. The bill would also have tightened job search requirements. Basically, we would be one of 50% of the states out there that would have said enough with the federal unemployment. And again, drive down any major artery in any eastern North Carolina town, large or small, and you're going to see help wanted signs all over the place. Mm-hmm. They can't find people. The reason why things are so expensive, they can't get things. I mean, we're talking over the weekend, truck drivers, they can make a neighborhood of $200,000 right now, a year.
There's a shortage in everything, every industry, because of, one, not getting workers back, and the supply chain, on up down the line, it just kind of makes the problem worse and worse and worse. Like I was talking to someone today, if you want to get your house painted, you can forget about it. You can't get paint. I mean, it's just almost impossible to find paint. And it's from the manufacturers, distributors and that type of thing. It's unbelievable. And Cooper does this.
Yeah.
I mean, does he not listen? Well, I know he doesn't listen to business people. He doesn't care.
He listens to the minions at the top of the food chain up in Washington, D.C.
Whatever the Democrat Party tells him, that's what he does.
So they passed Senate Bill 116, putting North Carolina back to work. Senate passed it 26 to 22, House 66 to 44. 3 Democrats voted in favor of it in the House, none in the Senate. And Cooper said, no, we're going to reject that because North Carolina's existing unemployment benefits are among the stingiest in the country.
If people, be careful how I say this, I guess, but you're making a choice if you choose not to go back to work. That's a choice. It's not because you can't find work.
There's plenty of work out there.
You may not find the work that you want at that particular moment, but if people are out on unemployment because of the pandemic, these places are back to work now. It's just no excuse. You're going to stay home, get a check, stay home.
Yeah, but I mean, the comment, well, I am going to veto this, and we'll continue to give out the money because we're being stingy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an oxymoron, isn't it? I mean, the idea that, we want to just be so generous with what we give away because they think it grows on trees. Somebody is paying for this.
Well, the data doesn't lie. If you look back at the 2008-ish, 9-ish, recession based on the financial crisis and all, and they had the extended unemployment for so long. Hey, the unemployment rate didn't go down. It didn't go down. All of a sudden, they ended it.
Bingo.
And it skyrocketed.
Yep.
It just fell off the table.
I love the old Jerry Falwell story where he says some farmer gave him a couple of hound dogs, and he said, now, Jerry, these dogs will only eat red meat. And Jerry went out to the Southern States store and bought a 100-pound bag of dog food, dry dog food, put it out for the dogs, and he said that farmer was right. They didn't eat it. Mm-hmm. 3 days later, they did.
Yeah. Well, kind of like the cattle business. If you feed cows out of a bag in the morning time, they're not going to graze all day.
Yeah.
If you don't give them anything and they're looking at the barn saying, you going to come feed me? After a while, they'll put their head down in the grass and stay in the grass all day.
Even cows and dogs get it.
Yeah. Roy Cooper does it.
Roy Cooper doesn't. Roy Cooper, again, takes his orders from the DNC. PJ Media, along with a number of other media outlets, is reporting that Nicole Hannah-Jones, she was the 1619 Project founder and journalist. Can we use that word? Journalist?
Loosely.
Loosely, very loosely. She has rejected the Chapel Hill offer to come up there. And by the way, they did offer her a tenured position. She rejected that. She was on CBS Morning News. she said, it's pretty clear that my tenure was not taken up because of political opposition, because of discriminatory views against my viewpoints, and I believe because of my race and gender. Yeah. Poor victim.
How about her past racial and divisive comments that she's made? Not to mention the 1619 Project is hogwash. There's no other way to say it. Historians across the country has been saying that. But how about the things that she said, years ago? We've talked about it on the program.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone that's a conservative at any university would say in those kind of comments about the black race of what she said about the white race, not only would they not get tenure, they would not get a freaking interview in America.
Yeah.
I mean, she did what she set out to do. She got attention on her. She got everybody. She's got these dumb, idiotic athletes and entertainers that don't know anything to come out and say something, and they don't even know the facts of the situation. So she accomplished that. Now she's got a job at Howard University where she can just, go live life in an echo chamber, what it boils down to.
Interestingly, even NPR discredited her 1619 Project.
Yeah.
And just talked about the falsities. And by the way, one of the interesting things that NPR brought up was you didn't even get your narrative correct, even if you want to be empathetic to the whole issue she's bringing up, because they're saying, no, actually the first slaves showed up. They were brought in by the Spanish back in the 1500s, or the 1500s, 1570, 1526, in fact. In 1526, enslaved Africans were a part of a Spanish expedition to establish an outpost in North America. They showed up in South Carolina. So she didn't even get it right, even when she's trying to write this false narrative that critical race theory began. And that's what it is, basically, is an extension of critical race theory, the Marxist ideology, and she's basically taking it all the way back to the founding of America, that everything that happened in the United States is based on slavery.
And this is the same woman that on her resume, she probably doesn't brag about it now, but she spent 2 years in Cuba studying under Raul Castro. That's a fact.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, and that's pretty much all you need to know.
Do we
isn't
want to learn anything from Cuba, from a Castro? I don't think so.
So in April, UNC's Hussman School of Journalism announced that Hannah Jones would become the Knight Chair in Race and Investigative Journalism, taking a Knight Chair professorship endowed by the John S. and James L. Knight Foundation. The professorship brings up top professionals to classrooms to teach and mentor students. So what would the lesson plans be? Mm-hmm. Lying and how to get away with it?
Well, absent this critical race theory argument and everything else, this is just another example of the bloated budgets in colleges and universities.
Yeah.
That they would put her on the payroll at that amount of salary for tenure, and even consider it for doing what? What is she going to do? How many classes is she going to teach? Any?
Propagate the garbage.
Yeah.
Propagate the garbage. That's what she would do, and apparently, this is actually a good news story. She's not coming, and I mean that's what we were hoping for. We were hoping that actually the board would have continued to reject the calls for her to get tenure. They caved, which I think we said, yeah, don't be surprised if they do. But the fact that she is not coming now, although knowing UNC Chapel Hill, they'll try to find someone just as liberal, just as radical. But she's not the one.
So it didn't have anything to do with that red hair, huh?
But yeah, she said it had nothing to do with her racist comments. It had nothing to do with her falsifying a narrative which was outlandish. She says it was because she's a black woman. Pure and simple.
Good grief.
Yeah. Speaking of black women, far-left Representative Cori Bush from Missouri, she is now facing widespread backlash. Although she's facing it from a lot of conservative blacks.
She says blacklash is what she says. But.
She tweeted, when they, didn't say who they were, when they say that the 4th of July is about American freedom, Remember this, the freedom they're referring to is for white people. This land is stolen land, and black people still aren't free. She got slammed by black conservatives. Darrell Harrison. Cori Bush is an angry black woman, a very angry black woman. Her anger is eating her alive from the inside out. I pity her because the freedom she seeks is not the freedom she needs. As such, freedom will continue to evade her as long as she carries that anger within her heart. Leo Terrell, political commentary, quote, "Do not respond to this idiot." Telling it like it is. She just wants attention. She hates herself. Yeah, I think these guys both have a point. Mm-hmm. Terrell says she hates herself. Harrison says, you know what? She needs to be pitied because of the anger that she carries. And she is. Have you ever seen her?
Oh, yeah.
She is an angry individual.
And when she says they, what is she saying? They who? They who? White people?
Well,
she wants to say
know.
white people. That's what she wants to say. She wants to call them whiteys. That's what she's just dying to say something like that. But
yeah.
to think this is a sitting congressman, where's she from? Missouri?
Yeah.
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 The show me state. Well, show me another.
Show her the door.
Show me somebody else that can represent Missouri, please.
Stay with us. We're going to take a time out when we come back. Unfortunately, over the holiday weekend, it was pretty violent in the inner cities. And so the violence, the defund the police, continues to have its ramifications. We'll talk about that when we get back.
And we're on location at one of my favorite places in the whole planet because this is some of the best food you're ever going to eat in your life. We are at Nino's on Red Banks Road in Greenville. It's one of my hangouts. It's one of the places that I love. I got my friend Pietro Passalacqua. How'd I do?
You did great.
Let's talk about the food. What makes this place? I know it's special Italian from authentic Italians, but tell us why it's so special.
Because everything we do, it's really what we came up on the menu from what we did at home, from my grandparents, my parents. So it's exactly what we eat at home, and that's the way we cook. That's why it's special.
And the atmosphere in this place is special also. From the bar to the two dining areas. You got two different dining areas, and now the weather's nice, so there's going to be a lot of folks that want to eat outside.
Yeah, we have two rooms. One room is designed a little different. We're also working on the patio to make it more attractive and more useful in the summer with a cocktail service. And we're always improving our services.
And, of course, my friends here, my buddy, Chef Massimo, who I love, and Sal and Pietro, you guys do a great job here. Not just Italian, but I had a great pork chop here the other night. You got great steaks, too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're also adding filet mignon in the future on our menu. And Massimo is coming out with a really good side dishes for it. And so we're really excited to come out with new meats and fish dishes.
All right, Nino's on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Same people that give you Marabello's and the great pizza that you get at Marabello's, but this is fine dining at Nino's. If you haven't been here, you don't know what you're missing. Come see them at Nino's on Red Banks Road. And Pietro, what is that famous saying about Nino's?
The food that you enjoy with people that you love.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and work week daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit TopDogOnline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
Living easy is the sound of children laughing as you make memories with neighbors and friends. It's the sound of nothing at all. It's the smell of the salt air. Hear the waters against the marsh grass.
This is your Drive at 5 and ENC with Tom Lamprecht. Welcome back to News and Views on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
Welcome back in. It is News and Views for a Tuesday. I'm going to go through this week a day off, thinking today was Monday. Take a look at your weather forecast. Tonight, mostly clear, low around 70. Tomorrow, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms later in the day as Elsa approaches. Looking at tomorrow night, a chance of showers and thunderstorms before 8 o'clock. Only about a 30% chance. Then on Thursday, the chance of rain is 90%, possibly 1 to 2 inches with Elsa. Thursday night, the showers will move out. Basically, Elsa is going to be a one-day event in terms of heavy downpours. And so get ready.
Not a very big storm either right now. So
hopefully not. Hopefully not. Weather brought to you by our friends at the Ironwood Golf and Country Club, voted best golf course in Greenville 2 years in a row. Ironwood Golf and Country Club boasts an 18-hole Lee Trevino design course, full-service dining and outdoor pool, tennis, and more. Our newly renovated 15,000-square-foot clubhouse is the perfect place to make new traditions with your family. For a limited time, join Ironwood, pay zero initiation fees. Give them a call, 252-752-4653, to find out what makes Ironwood the best of Greenville. 252-752-4653. Be a part of the best Ironwood Golf and Country Club. And again, that reminder, tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., there'll be a fundraiser for the North State 11-year-old All-Stars. They're headed to Winston-Salem for the state tournament. It will be a lemonade and sweet tea provided by Texas Roadhouse. With your donation, you can enjoy pulled pork, rolls, salad. We do appreciate your support. And go Greenville Little League All-Stars. It will take place at 1804 Charles Boulevard, which is right next to the ECU football practice field. So come out and support a good cause. Speaking of baseball, Cousin Eddie, Joe Biden, on Friday he hosted the Los Angeles Dodgers, the World Series champs, and they came to the White House, and Joe, old senile Joe, you know, he doesn't have a filter. So I don't know if that, exactly what that does, but he says things that are totally outlandish, thinking he can get away with it. So while the Dodgers are there, and you talk about being a narcissist. So he's there to honor the best players in baseball, currently in baseball, the best. And who does he shine the spotlight on? One of the long ball hitters? One of the pitchers? The manager? No, he shines it on himself. He starts to tell a story about how when he was playing in one of the first congressional baseball games, he said, I just want you to know that we have a congressional baseball game every year. In the very beginning, I used to be the center fielder in my Walter Mitty dream. Anyway, it's a long story, Biden began. My kids only remember two things that ever happened to me in my career. My boys. And they've met kings and queens, and they've gone to other countries, like China.
Ukraine.
But he goes on, but I played in the second congressional baseball game at the old stadium, in the old Washington Stadium, he continued. And I hit one right off the center field wall. Bounced it off the wall, and I think it's 368 feet. I don't know exactly, but it was off the wall. And I'm rounding, and anyway, to make a long story short, my kids remember that and all the rest. And guess what? The only thing I remember, too, I thought, what could have been? What could have been? Well, what could have happened is you were immediately fact-checked by the National Republican Committee. Zach Parkinson looked in, and as it turns out, he actually found a newspaper clipping from the Baltimore Sun for the second congressional baseball game. That would have been 1974. And they reported you went 0 for 2. A ground out and a strikeout. In 1975, he was late for that game. He got caught in traffic, so only got to play one inning. And yet he was so vain that when the Delaware paper reported on that particular congressional baseball game, it reported he was a no-show. And so he made them run a retraction stating that, no, he did. He showed up late and played an inning. Least you think this is untypical.
Hitless Joe Biden.
Yeah, really.
Instead of shoeless Joe Jackson, hitless Joe Biden.
But you see, I mean, Joe wouldn't go bragging on these kind of things, right?
Come on, man.
Even the liberal Huffington Post reported back in 2012 that Joe Biden was giving a speech and was talking about the time he was playing football for the University of Delaware. I'm not kidding. And no, he did not play for the University of Delaware, but it didn't stop him from saying it. And even the liberal Huffington Post called him out on it. And lastly, I mean, this is the trifecta here. He also claims he's a 6 handicap on the golf course. Which, if you're not a golfer, that's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, that is really good. I mean, I play golf as often as I can, and I'm right in the middle of the pack. I'm about a 12 to 13 handicap. And that's pretty much what the average amateur hacker is. The number of male golfers in the amateur male golfers that are 6 handicap, like 3%.
Yeah, I don't even believe that. That's another lie of his.
Oh, of course he can. Yes, you think? Joe, Cousin Eddie Joe. It just continues.
That's like some speech he was giving one time to some historically black college. What was it he said? Did he say he had an honorary doctorate from there? He said something just like off the wall, and everybody's kind of looking around like, that's news to us. I mean,
but these people, I'm sure they tell him, Joe, please keep your mouth shut. Please keep your mouth shut. By the way,
it's got to be the most stressful job in America is
trying to keep him under wraps. Yeah. Politico actually went and asked the White House, the Biden White House, about his claim of hitting it off the wall, and there was no response from the White House, which pretty much tells you that.
Yeah. That's old Uncle Joe.
So, speaking of Uncle Joe, they have changed the United States passport rules. Now, this would be really good for security reasons. They are now going to allow Americans on your passport to identify as male, female, or X, non-binary. That's great, Joe. So that'll help with if you ever travel overseas and you have to have your passport. I mean, these other countries, at least the last time I was traveling overseas, they take it pretty seriously. They
take it real serious.
Yeah, they look it up one side and down the other. They examine it, and if they think there's something fishy going on, well, thanks to Cousin Eddie, it's going to be a little harder for them to do their job.
They have better security in the British Virgin Islands than we do in the United States.
I believe it. I believe it. By the way, taxpayers could be on the hook for billions in damages to the Canadian firm that was affected when Biden canceled the Keystone Pipeline. TC Energy. They have officially shut down the work on the Keystone Pipeline because Biden revoked a key permit. On Friday, the company behind the project filed a notice of intent with the State Department, the Office of Legal Advisor, to initiate a legacy North America Free Trade Agreement claim under the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement to recover economic damages resulting from the cancellation of the Keystone Pipeline. And we are talking about $15 billion.
Wow.
That the taxpayers will be on the hook for. Now, why should the taxpayers have to pay for what this brain-dead liberal did totally on his own via an executive order? Now, I'm sure there were other liberals behind that getting him to sign the executive order.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, 10,000 jobs are lost. And, I mean, these would have been high-paying jobs, not only to put the pipeline in, but once the pipeline was up and running, would have continued to be employed. I don't know if there would have been 10,000 when it was finished, but, I mean, this is a project that would have gone on for a couple of years. High-paying union jobs.
Not to mention what the effects it will have on
it's
had on price.
So
basic rules of supply and demand.
Yep.
I mean, the markets already know, hey, we're just limiting another supply source.
Yep. Thank you, Joe. And more and more, I mean, we talked about this on Thursday. the polling is not good for Joe. Even from Democrats, it's going in the wrong direction. It's never been good for Republicans being polled, but even the Democrats are just sick of it at this point.
He's actually impressed me. The speed of which he's screwed things up has really impressed me. I mean, I didn't even think he was capable of that, to be honest with
you. Yeah, I mean, and you know, it's you stop and think about it. He is truly the puppet, and the puppet master is pulling the strings, because Joe couldn't accomplish this many boondoggles. Even as goofy as he is, he couldn't do it.
It's President Obama's team and President Obama. I would be willing to bet. I would love to know. I would think multiple times a day, President Obama, former President Obama, is making calls to his staff, and I mean this is his third term without a doubt.
Bingo.
And I've said all along, and I still say it, something has been in the works. There's absolutely no way the Democrat Party, for everything they're not stupid. There is absolutely no way they will put Vice President Harris up to run for a second term. It's just not going to happen. It won't be Joe Biden. Anybody that says it's going to be Joe Biden,
I'd be surprised if he's alive.
I'll be surprised if he makes it through the end of the year. But there has been a deal cut by the Vice President and somebody in the Democrat Party. I think it's Michelle Obama.
Michelle, my belt.
She would never survive a Democrat primary, because, you know, the news media, the liberal news media, I mean, they've got 7 or 8 Democrats that they got to be somewhat fair to. She would never survive that. She doesn't have the temperament to survive that. If she goes in with no one running against her, then guess what? The news media will be hands off.
Oh, yeah, as they are now.
Yeah, so it's I'm still convinced there's something in the works.
Clark, did you find that clip?
No, I'm still working.
Oh, we're still working on. We're trying to get the Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson gave a great speech, and we'll try to get it on our Facebook page or our web page, website. Thank you, Tom. ENC News and Views, and we're going to try to get a portion of that to play it for you in a little bit here. Over the weekend, the holiday weekend, almost 200 people were shot dead in the United States, hundreds more injured. Naturally, liberals, never wanting a crisis to go to waste, are bringing in new calls for greater gun control. About 189 people, we're still counting, died over the weekend, 516 injured in shootings in a 72-hour period. In Chicago, and they're always the front runners in this, a 15-year-old boy was in critical condition after being shot. 5 other children, ages 13 and under, were amongst the 104 people to suffer gunshot wounds in Chicago. 2 Chicago police officers were amongst the injured, according to the Chicago Sun-Times. By 5 p.m. Monday, Chicago had recorded 2,000 shootings this year. Just last week, Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, this is cut 1, Derek, Lori Lightfoot claimed crime is not out of control in the city. The mayor's response came after a Newsmax reporter asked about the off-the-charts violent crime. Here's what Lightfoot said just a week ago.
Let him ask his follow-up question so he doesn't claim that somehow we're being biased and slighting the guy from Newsmax. Please, sir, it's 6:30 going on 7. Ask your follow-up question.
Well, my follow-up question is simply this. Many residents in Chicago feel that you've lost control of the city. Now it appears as though you've lost control of the Chicago City Council. Do you owe an apology to the victims of violent crime, the thousands of unsolved shootings and murders and stabbings and random stabbings in the downtown and the south side and the north side and the west side? Do you owe these people any apology?
So once again, sir, I ask you to get your facts right. Crime is not out of control in our city. In fact, crime is on the decline. All of our major indices showed a decline in crime, and our homicides and our shootings year over year are down. That's a fact, sir. And you, sir, I was polite and allowed you to spew your rhetoric, which is offensive to me and others, but I'm trying to be polite and professional and answer your question. But if you want to write your own narrative and irrelevant to what I'm going to say and what the facts are, then we'll just move on to the next reporter.
So who needs to get the facts straight?
Yeah, let's look at the statistics.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she would probably start quoting some, the bottom line is, figures lie.
And liars figure.
Liars figure. And, you can skew it whatever you want to, but the data is there. I mean, shootings are up, murders are up. And I used to spend a lot of time in Chicago on business years ago, and the downtown area, I mean, you would never see a shooting or any violence. I mean, you felt completely safe. Now, I wouldn't dare go down there. I've been to Chicago probably my last time. I went there last spring. I probably won't go back. It's too dangerous.
Well, technically, the killings are down by 6, but the shootings are up year over year.
We just got better medical attention.
Yeah.
And last week she was claiming that, the reason people were on her about her job was that just the simple fact that she was a black female.
Oh, yeah. Same thing that the Congresswoman from Missouri was saying. But the condescending comments to this Newsmax reporter, let him ask the question because otherwise we'll be accused of being biased if we don't let Whitey from Newsmax ask his question. Ms. Lightfoot, you were the one who came out and publicly pronounced that when it came to interviews, only people of color need apply.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you came out and said that. I mean, again, you're trying to change the narrative after you've painted yourself in the corner, and it won't work. I mean, we've got you on audio and video saying that. Unbelievable. Hey, we got to take another time out. Stay with us. News and Views continues right after this.
And we're on location at one of my favorite places in the whole planet because this is some of the best food you're ever going to eat in your life. We are at Nino's on Red Banks.
Break the chain. Eat local. Tiebreakers.
Hey, this is Hank Hinton back here at Full Service Flooring in Winterville. I'm here today with Corey Little, who's the operations manager here at Full Service Flooring. Corey's been here 6 months, but you've been in construction a long time. Tell us about what you do here at Full Service Flooring.
Yeah, I got over here about 6 months ago. I've been in construction for, like I said, a little over 20 years, and I've known Tim for a long time now, and he's brought me over here to see what new kind of things I can bring to the store and to our customers. And I'm in charge of scheduling, and I don't know what else. I'm in charge of everything. It seems like we work together as a team and try to pull it all together. I might do a measure one day and do a commercial floor the next day, but we just kind of all work together and pull it all together at one time.
So what's new in flooring? What is the hot new thing?
The hot new thing is LVP or LVT, depending on what you're looking for, which look you're looking for. It's a waterproof product. It's absolutely fantastic. You can't really beat it.
A lot cheaper than hardwoods?
It is definitely a cost-effective alternative to hardwoods, yes, sir.
So, Corey, how is business right now?
And business is good. Despite the pandemic, we're still seeing a lot of new customers in the store, and we get an opportunity to introduce our products in a lot of different situations right now.
Corey, you've got a lot of experience in the construction industry. How is that helping you here with people, helping people with flooring here at Full Service Flooring?
Sure. I try to take the experiences that I've gained over my time in construction to help apply that to the flooring, whether it be with what the structure is made out of, the subfloor that we're going over top of, or maybe even just how it coordinates with your kitchen cabinets in construction or in your bathroom and how the tub and everything all ties together.
And a customer can just come here and see you anytime?
Absolutely. We're here 6 days a week, and we just love to see a new customer in here anytime. They can always call us and schedule something with us so we can make sure we have our time allotted for them.
Corey, thank you so much. That's Corey Little here at Full Service Flooring. Come see these guys. They're on Tilco Drive in Winterville, 756-9308 and fullserviceflooring.com.
In North Carolina, we get up before the sun rises and stay up into the wee hours of the night. We believe in working hard and playing harder. Behind every meal, there's a farmer, and behind every farmer, there's got to be NC, the official state identity program for North Carolina agricultural products.
News News and Views.
He's kind of a diva.
He's absolutely fascinating.
Ultimate gentleman spy. Irresistible to women, deadly to his enemies, a legend in his own time.
You won't believe what he's going to say next on Talk 96.3 and 103.7. Here's Tom Lempreck.
Welcome back in, Tom and Benny and Clark. And Derek. Derek is back. Old producer from months ago is back helping produce today. Mark Robinson over the weekend gave a great 4th of July speech, and we don't have time to play the whole thing. We're going to play a segment for you right now. See if you can get the whole speech and put it up on ENC News and Views. Clark said he gave me the thumbs up on that. So if you want to hear the whole speech, you can go to it. But this is Mark Robinson on the 4th of July giving a speech. I think this took place in West Whitsett, North Carolina.
Yeah, outside of Greensboro.
Yeah, okay, which is his home territory. Mm-hmm. So here's Mark Robinson.
Young men and women have given their lives for this nation. All the way from the beginning to this moment right now, they did it so you could sit in those chairs and listen to me right now. They did it so I could stand here and speak without some jackbooted thugs coming in here throwing chains on me and dragging me away. They did it so this nation can remain free and strong and proud and brave. And when I think about it, guys, every time it brings tears to my eyes. The way people have sacrificed for this nation. And then they hear people say that this nation is not good enough, that this nation is less than, that this nation is racist. My God, what part of this country do you have to live in? Where are you at in your mind to say that this is a racist nation? Where? Show it to me. Bring it to me. Lay it at my feet. Any person that thinks that this is a racist nation, look here, I got a personal story to tell you. A personal story to tell you. I'm standing right here and I'm looking at all these different faces in here and I see people that don't look anything like me. Some of whom have embraced me in tears and tell me that they love me. And they don't love me because I'm a black man or because I'm a white man. They love me because we share a heart. We share a heart for this nation. We've reached a point in this nation where people don't care what you look like anymore. Just as long as you're standing up for what's right. And that's why we're here tonight, folks. We're here to stand up for what's right. Because we know what's right, and we have right on our side. And I'm going to tell you, I'm telling you, as you sit in those chairs, as you stand there, as you listen to me, if you don't think this is a fight, all you got to do is turn on CNN for 5 minutes, and your mind will be changed. And so, what I'm going to leave you with here tonight, guys, is this. It's time to stand up and be strong. You know, I said for many years, if we had a president that would just stand up and say what needs to be said, he'd get something done. And we had one in number 45. We sure did. And he got some stuff done. Folks complained about how he did it, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you like this. Now is not the time to be soft-spoken and timid and afraid. Now is not the time to sit back and say, well, maybe we can negotiate. Now is not the time to put a pipe in the corner of your mouth and say, well, let's see what the book says about it. This is not the time for that, folks. We are in a battle for the soul of this nation, the literal soul of this nation. This nation is actually standing at a crossroads in a giant semi-truck called socialism. It's coming down the pike. Now is not the time to look at our nation and say, you need to look out. There's a truck coming. Now's not the time for that. Now is the time for us to stand up and say, wake up, America! Wake up! You are about to give away one of the greatest gifts God has ever given to humanity. You are about to give it away because you refuse to stand up like those who came before you. It is time for us to stand up, folks. It's time for us to be unafraid, unashamed, and unabashed with the truth that we have in us. And tell those socialist bastards who want to destroy this nation, you will not do it on my watch. You will not do it now. You will not do it ever. Because this is America. And I don't come from some weak jellyback people. I come from people who survived the Middle Passage and the potato famine and who survived World War I and World War II and Vietnam and Korea and survived the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, folks who survived 9/11 and tore it down for those that thought they would bully us. I don't come from a weak and ineffective people. And if you want this fight, you bring it. Because we are ready. Because we don't back down and we don't give up. We will fight for the life of this nation, and we will fight for the future of our children. You don't believe it? You're going to get a lesson. The same way the British did, the same way the Germans did, the same way the Japanese did, the same way the communists did, the same way those terrorists over in the Middle East did. You're going to get a lesson in what free men will do to hold on to their freedom. So hold on to your hats, communists. Hold on to your hats, socialists. The patriots are coming, and you're not going to like it when they get there. God bless you all. God bless the great state of North Carolina, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Wow. I got goosebumps.
Yeah,
I have goosebumps. I'm not kidding you. Mark Robinson is hitting it out of the park over and over and over again, making national news. This guy, and he started out right here in the studio.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the first places. I mean, this guy is going to be on the national stage. He needs to serve his time. He needs to learn what he needs to do, but this guy has got a incredible future in front of him.
And if you watch the video that's on our website now, I think
ENC News and Views, you can see the whole speech.
He didn't have note cards he was pulling out of his pocket. He didn't have a teleprompter. He didn't have a sheet of paper. He's speaking from the heart.
Well, that's what he was telling us when we had him on at the convention. You know, who writes your speech? Nobody writes my speech. I just do it from the heart. And, boy, he's got a big heart.
But he's exactly right. It's time for people to stand up.
Thank you. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Got a trade? Now's the time at Greenville Toyota. Never in history has your trade been worth more. Get paid today. Then get a new Toyota hot off the delivery truck. Hurry before they're gone. Like Camrys, $189 a month. Rush to Greenville Toyota.
Anything could happen ever since I met you. Let me take you dancing.
Introducing Pepsi Mango.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport.
Sawyer's Fun Park in Winterville is now open. With over 40,000 square feet of family fun, daily money-saving deals, and a full-service restaurant, Sawyer's Fun Park is guaranteed to have something the whole family will love. Test your ninja skills on our 2-story obstacle course or head over to one of our 5 rock walls and race your friends to the top. And when you've worked up an appetite in our laser tag arena or our one-of-a-kind ropes course, grab a table over at the restaurant and try our world-famous Southern Monster Fries. Reserve your spot today at SawyersFunPark.com and come join in on the fun.
My name is Dr. Neeti Armistead, Chief Medical Officer for Vidant Health. The following simple steps will help keep you and your community safe. Stay home as much as possible, wear a mask when out in public, avoid large gatherings, practice social distancing, and wash hands often. It's also important not to delay needed care. Vidant has taken important steps to provide you and your family with a safe environment. Learn more about COVID-19 and Vidant's response. Call 252-847-8000 or visit vidanthealth.com/COVID-19.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
This one's for everyone who spends the amount of time it would take to watch a movie, agreeing on which movie to watch. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport.
Toyota shoppers, now's the time at Greenville Toyota. Shipments of factory fresh Toyotas are arriving daily and being sold almost immediately.
4th of July, we'll begin our summer of freedom. We get back to doing the things we love, like spending trillions and trillions of dollars and getting together with family and friends. We'll celebrate our independence from this virus and from the borders.
I said I would go to the border, but why bother? It's the summer of freedom.
Be prepared.
We'll build back better, or for worse.
With Talk 96.3 and 103.7. Now back to News and Views with Tom Lamprecht and Benny Hardy.
Welcome back in. Town Hall is reporting. We reported on this when it came out in January of this year that they were going to house men with women. If you identified as a woman and you were a male, you could go and be housed in a woman's prison. Well, guess what? There are now hundreds of lawsuits. The Women's Liberation Front is now suing, and they're representing a number of females that are in prison. I mean, there's one case where this woman could not eat anything for 3 days because she was cold-cocked by her male cellmate. And in her accusations against her cellmate, she's got to consent to sexual relations. What a shocker. Gosh. What a shocker. And yet Newsom is so progressive that he knows what's best.
It's a mental disorder. Progressivism is a mental disorder.
Big time. Big time. Hey, just a quick reminder, the Greenville Little League North State 11-year-old All-Stars, go over and support them. They're going to Winston-Salem this weekend. They need your support. Thanks to Texas Roadhouse. It all takes place on Charles Boulevard next to the ECU football practice from 10 o'clock in the morning to 2 p.m. Go and support a good cause. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.
All right. In North Carolina, we get up before the sun rises and stay up into the wee hours of the night. We believe in working hard and playing harder. Behind every meal, there's a farmer, and behind every farmer, there's got to be NC, the official state identity program for North Carolina agricultural products. Look for the Got to Be NC logo wherever you shop or eat, and you'll know you're getting a quality product grown, raised, caught, or made in North Carolina.
We're on location at Fabric and Home Furnishings, and I'm back with my friend Lisa Pendry. And Lisa's been telling me about all the great renovations that have been going on here in the store, and I've been looking around, and it looks fantastic. Tell us what you've done here.
Well, we've knocked some walls down, we've painted, we've added some new vendors, lots of new exciting things going on. So we're making room for everybody to get what they need to transform their homes.
Looks fantastic in here. Last time we talked, you were saying that you were able to deliver a lot faster than most other furniture stores. Is that still the case?
It is. It's changed a little bit, but we're still looking at around 8 to 10 week delivery, and we do sell our floor samples right off the floor.
All right, we always say that Fabric and Home Furnishings is more than just a fabric store, so tell us what the more is all about. When people come in, what should they expect?
Well, we love to get to know our customers. I have the best crew I've ever had, and everybody on my team is an interior designer. So we offer in-home design service, which we always have, but now they can each come out to your home after they work with you in here, figure out what's going on in your residence or your commercial property to pull it together and help you make everything beautiful.
You got great folks here.
I do.
I can tell you, I haven't gotten to know them. It's like a family when you come in here, and everybody gets along well, and you can tell that these guys and gals really know what they're talking about when it comes to interior design.
They do, and that's really what makes us different. We offer complete in-home design service. We don't charge a by-the-hour fee. It's a flat one-time fee. We work with you in here, in your home, in your business, and help pull everything together. All
right, it's more than just a fabric store. Fabric and Home Furnishings in Arlington Village. Come see this lady. She's fantastic. Fabric and Home Furnishings. Come see the renovations here in Arlington Village. And thank you for the visit today.
Thank you, Henry.
All right, you got to come see what they've done in the store here on Arlington Boulevard in Arlington Village.